actually looked forward to today. So this is our maiden orientation, and my name is Maureen Onuvai, and today I'm going to be your moderator. So please join me as we begin the program. Yes, let me start by congratulating everyone who has made it to be here. It's not everyone who actually registered are here, and you are part of the program. Please, I want to ask that everyone kindly mute so you don't interrupt the event. Thank you. Thank you very much. Please mute. Yep. So, congratulations to each and every one of us. Today, M4ACE, we celebrate you, and we want you to know that we are glad that you are part of our team. You're joining us today. Yeah. Um, we have a lined up of events for you throughout this program. So I would want to ask you to please be active, participate, and join me as we begin. Let's begin with an introduction. Okay, so I'm going to begin by introducing the members of our team. Okay, so let me introduce the members of our team. I'm going to begin with Mr. Adefemi Sayolu. He is the founder, more like the visionary, of the M for ACE. I can't see you. I can't see any reaction. I can't see you sending in your reaction and celebrating the visionary, the one that bettered the idea out of his selfless heart. Okay, we celebrate him today, and he's going to be the mentor for cloud computing. The next on our list on our team is Ijoma Alfred Atege. She's the brand and visual identity. Celebrate Ijoma Alfred Atege. So if you're part of the brand and visual identity track, you are seeing your mentor. The next on our team is Zillion Oyama. This is our program manager. So you will see a lot of him. He's like a headmaster, if I will say that, right? So he's our program manager. So celebrate him. The next on our team is Isaac Wonder. Isaac Wonder is the product designer. Celebrate if you're in the product designer track. Celebrate your mentor. Yeah, the next is Samuel John. Samuel John is the graphics designer. Celebrate him. The next is Somofun Sheye. This is also our graphic designer. We celebrate every member of our team. Every one of us, we have put in a lot of work to get in here, and we really celebrate that. The next is um Evelyn Chikodi Aguara. Evelyn Chikodi Aguara is the mentor, one of the mentors for the cyber security track. So we celebrate you, Evelyn. Thank you for giving yourself, you know, to be a part of this program. The next is Okmanachi Emmanuel, is also graphic designer. So you see all our graphic designers. When you're seeing all these beautiful colors on our screen, you know that these guys, they've really put in a lot of work. We celebrate you. The next on our list is Oluwamuyiwa Abola Mayoga. I greet you, sir. This is the back end engineer mentor. So if you're in back end, you will be seeing more of him. We celebrate you, sir. The next on our team is Adebola Andrew M. This is our front end engineer. We celebrate you, Mr. Drew. Thank you for giving of yourself. If you're on the front end track, you'll be seeing more of him. Get ready. The next on our list is Morino Novai. This is my humble self. Thank you. I'm a back end engineer mentor. So if you're in the back end engineering, you're going to see more of me as well. Next is Oguntume Idowu, ID. He's the one of the cybersecurity mentor. Thank you so much, Mr. ID, for giving of yourself. I mean, you guys, you are in for a lot of it. with these mentors. The next we have Joseph Oluwadamilare. Oluwadamilare is a social media manager. So if you have seen us always active on social media, you have seen all those things happening on social media, this is the brain box behind it. We celebrate you, Mr. Joseph. Thank you. Thank you again. Next on our list is Isabella Osove. Isabella is a content writer. She's really good at what she does, and really celebrate you, Isabella. Thank you for giving of yourself. The next on our list is Olatunji Oluwayomi. This is our community manager. I'm sure you have met him. You have met him a lot of times, like on the community, right? He has always been interfacing with you, and he will continue to interface with you. Okay, so thank you, Mr. Olatunji. The next on our team is Inioluwa Jeremiah. Thank you. He's the brand and visual, one of the brand and visual identity mentor. Thank you, Mr. Inioluwa, for giving of yourself. We really celebrate every one of our mentors. Next on our list, okay, so those are I've introduced all of our mentors to you, and you now know each and every one of them by by their pictures, I believe. If you're a part of any track, you know the track you are, you know who your mentor is, so you know the picture for in the Slack channel. All right, so let's move ahead to the next on our program, which will be I'm going to give a brief discussion. Let's have a brief discussion of um the demand for tech. Why tech? What's the rush about tech? Why is it so loud? Why is everybody just talking about transitioning into tech? How is this so important? What are the reasons why people transition into tech? In fact, let's do this. I think I'm going to give us for 1 minute. I want you to put in the Inco chat. What's your reason? Everybody, each and every one of us, I believe, have a reason for deciding to transition into tech. For wanting to be a part of this program. So you can just quickly drop on the Inco chat the reason. It's okay if your reason is the money. Come on, me and you were in the same boat. Right, we're in the same ship. Okay, so if it's the money, fine. If it's just because I just love tech, I just love to touch computer, I just love to, I want to see that. Let's go in the Inco chat. So I see Ayomide Ojo say tech is the new oil money. I feel you, Ayomide. That is true. That is true. Come on, that is awesome. See the career growth and the remuneration. That's Oge Chuku Isiche. That is true. So you see, it's not only the money in tech. That's one thing. There are a lot of benefits in tech. So you see, he said career growth. I agree with you. Tech has given us the opportunity to easily address almost all human problems with speed and accuracy. Gideon Madaki, you are right on point there. So you can do anything. You can address any problem with tech. That is awesome. I actually want to step up my skill and bring my reasoning to reality. That's for the Pemi Joshua. Thank you. That is awesome. Bringing your reasoning to reality. Kudos. We have Daniel Davis say tech is innovative and can never go out of trend. That is so on point. Okay, that's the much we can take for now, right? But that is awesome. Every point that everybody has made is awesome. There's numerous reasons to transition into tech, and I want to say congratulations to you for this decision you have taken. And I know that it's one decision that you will never regret. In fact, I said to somebody that this is my retirement plan. Right, my being into this career is my retirement plan, and that is true. Okay, so welcome. So let's go to the next on our program. That's we're going to call on our program manager to give us a program overview and the structure of the whole program. Please join me as we receive Mr. Zillion Oyama.
Okay, good
Yeah.
evening, everyone.
Good evening. Welcome, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Thank Good evening. It's my pleasure and
Good evening,
to
sir.
join, yeah, with a young, vibrant community of individuals who want to go a step further in tech. Okay, so as has been said, I'm Zillion Onyama. I'm the program manager for the M4ACE program, and for the next couple of minutes, I'll be going through some major details like the timeline, the key milestones, and other benefits I'm sure many of us would like to hear. Okay, so first of all, M4ACE is a new organization. It was founded by Mr. Adefemi Sanyolu, as has been stated. And the focus and vision of this organization is to build the tech human capital of Africa. Okay, so we're working on, because we've analyzed the whole tech ecosystem and discovered that Africa is lagging behind. So many opportunities don't come the way of Africa. So our founder decided to had this vision, and so many of us queued into that vision. And the vision is to build the human capital development of Africans through high quality tech trainings. So now I'm sure you must have gone through the learning tracks and seen a couple of things. So that is what we are starting with for now. We hope to train at least 5,000 and then upscale from there. So you are going to be our first cohort. We started about 6 months ago, and we are very glad to be starting with you guys. So we hope you guys also feel free to engage with us. If you have questions, you ask anything you feel like you need to communicate, please do so. We'll be having communication systems which will be open to you all as the whole event unfolds. So, in the period of the 6 months cohort, we expect that our students are able to gradually begin to work on projects, and their mentors will actually guide them in that. So, you are going to be taking lectures, and we made it a form of a hybrid system. So, sometimes you'll be needed to join a live meeting, while most of the time you'll be on your LMS taking your courses and also taking quizzes and the likes on that platform. And we expect that you will be able to learn whichever skill track you have signed up for, be it cloud computing, be it software development. And once you sign up for that, you'll be able to learn what we are training you and work on projects so that you'll be able to develop. Now, mentorship is very invaluable, especially for those of us who have been in tech for quite some time. We will agree that one of the challenges we faced was maybe you go online, you take a course, and you don't have a mentor to actually speak with. Say, for instance, you're taking a course on maybe a particular app maybe you're developing with a particular programming language, say maybe Swift, for instance. And maybe by the time the course was done, the version of Swift being used, maybe Swift 3 or something. And by the time you got that access to that course, it's like Swift 5. So the syntax of the language has changed. I'm sure you actually find yourself in some sort of problem because what was developed has evolved. And that problem will be solved if you have a mentor. So the mentorship we're providing is invaluable. You won't get it in so many organizations which are offering tech trainings even for free. And your mentor will guide you. Your mentor is someone who has passed through this field, has gone this journey. So he's going to hold your hand and take you through. So you will learn with him. When you have questions, you can easily reach out to him. So that's one of the major benefits of the mentorship that we are providing. And the mentorship is going to be for long. You get access to speak with your mentor, to connect with him, not only during classes, but also during other times. Maybe we have assignments and other things. Now, briefly, I'd like to go through the 7 learning domains and their importance in tech careers. Okay, so we are looking at some of the programs which we are training our students on. We'll start with first cloud computing. So these days there are so many cloud-based solutions available. We talk of things like AWS, Amazon Web Services, we talk of Azure, Google Cloud, and we know that these things are in vogue because so many organizations are hosting applications in the cloud. More and more websites, in fact, millions and possibly billions of websites are being hosted online. You need a cloud engineer to be able to manage these resources and deploy so that if a processor, for instance, is being used by, let's say, 100 different websites or web applications, cloud computing engineer will be able to allocate resources so that all these resources will be readily available to all those who need it. So if you master cloud computing, you can have a career like cloud engineering. You could be a solutions architect. You could even be a DevOps engineer. Then we'll go to the second one, which is brand and visual identity design. Many companies need visually appealing branding to be able to stand out in the market. So these days, there are so many organizations that are online, And the more visually appealing your content is, the more your organization is able to stand out in the market. You are meeting big time organizations, so you need to stand out. Okay, which is why brand and visual identity design is very, very key and very important. So with skills in graphics design, typography, branding, you will be able to mature and become a brand identity designer, a graphic designer, or an art director. That's what you stand to gain from us. So if you look at the kind of designs we've been churning out on our social media pages, these are high quality designs. So we can give you the guarantee that you're going to be learning from the best. Then for our product design and UI UX, we can say that user experience, which is explained as how someone feels when using a digital product, be it an app or a website. So that user experience and interface design is very crucial. If someone logs into your website and he's confused with what he's seeing, or the app is confused with what he's seeing, the retention rate is not high. Such an individual may not come back. Okay, but once you are a proficient user experience or user or interface designer, you'll be able to make an interface in such a way that when someone gets in there, he wouldn't like to get out easily. He would love to keep on checking different sections of that application or that website. So once you are proficient in UI UX design tools and principles, you can get a role of maybe a UI designer, a UX researcher, or a product designer. Then move on to content writing. So we're offering content writing because content writing is key for virtually everything that's going on now. Okay, so be it areas in the academia, in tech, in economics, in even politics, in the digital space, content writing is key. The more attractive and more professional your content is, the higher the individuals who will pay more attention to you. So content is key for digital marketing, for search engine optimization, for branding. And once you have strong writing skills, it will help you to have a career as maybe a copywriter, a content writer or developer, a content strategist or content marketer. So as we've seen now, content proficiency in content writing cuts across several sectors, and this is what you stand to benefit when you learn from us at M4ACE, totally free of charge, and we're going to be giving you very, very skilled professionals in all these learning tracks. Lastly, cybersecurity. So the more the whole world is going digital, the more the need for security. Okay, in Nigeria here, they're talking about getting state police, for instance, because more and more the whole place is becoming more and more insecure. The same thing happens online. Since more organizations are going digital, more websites are being loaded, are being created and hosted, more web apps are being created and hosted, companies are prioritizing cybersecurity measures. So people need to have that confidence that when they go to your website and enter their card details to order a particular product or service, no hacker can remotely access those details and then hack into their accounts. Cybersecurity professionals, which in some cases are called ethical hackers or penetration testers or security consultants or security analysts, help to ensure that whatever system you are developing is foolproof and highly secure. So from time to time, they come and analyze your system, your processes, and ensure that it is in line with the global standard of security. This is what you stand to benefit from cybersecurity. So on behalf of the entire team at M4ACE, I tell you welcome, and we're very glad to have you on board, and we assure you that you're going to enjoy this whole learning experience. But please, we beg you to continue to work hard. It's not easy, but we've made sacrifices on our part, and we expect you to make those sacrifices too, especially your time, your devotion, and take your assignments seriously, take your courses seriously, and we'll meet you at the top. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, our dear program manager. Thank you. I believe you have taken us deep into what to expect, and some questions have already been answered. Questions in our heart. If you have any question, I want to point out that please put it in the info chat, and we are going to attend to each and every one of you. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next on our list on our program, which is talking about our learning management system, and that's going to be taken by Mr. Abula Oluwamuyua. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much for the warm introduction. Good day, everyone. Just like Maureen has stated, my name is Oluwamuyo Agbola. It's a privilege to be here this evening. Congratulations to the new guys. Without wasting much of our time, I'll be taking us through the learning management system. I'll be sharing my screen. Please confirm if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can. Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, we can see your screen. Okay. So welcome again to everyone. Uh, just like I stated, I'll be taking us through on the learning management system, which the acronym is LMS. Basically, the LMS is a platform which we have designed to deliver materials, training resources, educational resources, quizzes and assessments to our new cohort members, to you guys, our mentees. So it's basically a platform where you can interact with your fellow mentees, you can interact with your instructors, you can take your courses. There are different educational resources ranging from videos, PDF, PowerPoint, and other links that we feel can enhance your skills during the course of your stay at M4ACE. So without wasting much of our time, uh, let's dive deep into the practical aspect of this, because this is what you'll be doing basically every day. So this is the LMS for M4ACE, the learning management system. This is the URL, lms.m4ace.com/login. So I'm going to log in now. You need to fill in this form with your username or your email address, your password, and then you log in into the platform. So once you log in, you are welcome with this particular dashboard where we have a list of all our courses, different tracks. We have different tracks, just as I've been stated earlier on by my colleague. We have the brand and visual identity learning track. We have backend development. We have a lot of them, cybersecurity. So you get this is the landing page. This is where you get welcome to. And then don't be concerned about the prices you are seeing here. I know a lot of us will start thinking that I thought this program is free and all that. This is just the pricing of all these programs, but we will be enrolling you guys from the back end, so there's nothing to worry about. So once you get into the LMS, like I said, you see the list of different courses, different learning tracks. You look for your own learning track. For the purpose of this practical session, I will be making use of the cloud computing learning track to demonstrate how you can interact with our LMS. So for the cloud computing learning track, I'm going to click here. Yeah, and once you get onto your learning track dashboard, you see a lot of different indicators, different values, different functionalities on this particular page. You can see that this particular program is supposed to run for 15 weeks. And it's for all levels, both beginners, intermediary, experts, and whatever level you think you are in tech. This particular program is for you. We have structured our curriculum in a way that we cater for everybody. And for this particular learning track, there's a total of 42 lessons. So we have 42 different courses or sessions for you guys. And we also have 3 quizzes. Don't be deceived. We are still going to upload more quizzes to test your growth in the program, how you've been able to like get yourself accustomed with the different technologies that were pushing out to you guys. And also you will see the number of students that you have in your cohorts that are currently enrolled into this particular learning track. Then you also see a functionality here that shows you the overview of this particular program. Tells you it's just a detailed summary of what cloud computing is all about and what you guys will be learning. Then you can click, there's going to be a requirement tab here. There are features, different functionalities across, and then you see another tab here where you can click on curriculum. This is where you get a detailed overview of what we have in stock for you for the next 15 weeks. You look at week 1, you see the different courses that we intend to introduce to you guys. Look at week 2, where we start talking about OSI model, computer networking, and all that. Week 3, you start looking at introduction to cloud computing, and down to week 15, where we have different, up to week 9. Sorry, we are still going to onboard different curriculums for different weeks. But as of now, we've uploaded the curriculum for cloud computing up to week 9. So you get to see this on the LMS. And you also get to see the details of your instructor, your instructor Twitter page, the LinkedIn page of your instructor, where you can also interact with your instructors. There are times that they post different educative materials on their social media platforms. You guys can also interact with those posts. You can also look at materials. Like I mentioned earlier on, you guys will be basically interfacing with this learning management system virtually every day, because this is where you get to see the different resources that we have for you. Like I said, it could be PDF. There's already uh, a file here, a PDF file, which is Introduction to AWS Security. It's a PDF file. You get to see different format of files, ranging from videos, links, PowerPoint presentations, and all that. So you need to get yourself accustomed to different functionalities that comes with the learning management system. So I'm just going to click on continue. So over here, you can see when you started. You see the lessons that you've completed out of a total of 42. You see the quizzes that you've been able to attempt, and you see your course progress. So I'll be clicking on this. You continue. Sorry, my network is a bit bad. That's why there's a bit of lag on my own end. As you can see, it's still trying to get a response from that particular interface. But basically, what we've been able to do is that we've been able to create a system, a platform where you can log in into. It's easy for you to use. You can access different materials, get to learn at your own pace. Yeah. So like I said, after you've clicked continue, you see the different weeks here, just the different curriculums and the different materials that we attached to them. This is week 1, where you'll be learning the cloud computing guys will be learning command line basics, how to interact with terminals, shells, and all that. And then you get to see a detailed explanation of what the command line is all about. There's also a video resource here that we've attached, where you can watch a YouTube video that explains better what the command line is all about. So across all our learning tracks, every day you get to meet all these. You come on the platform, you get to see a detailed explanation of what you are supposed to learn for that week, and also maybe a video resource, a PowerPoint, or different ranges of files that will help you to get accustomed to the different technologies that we will be introducing you to. So you get to see what the focus point is, how you can practice, and all that. And like I said, we'll also be assessing how you've been able to grow during the course of this program. We are going to be introducing quizzes, and you also be taking those quizzes through this particular platform. So here's an example of a quiz at the end of week 1. So on the quiz page, you see the number of questions that you are expected to attempt. You see your passing grade. For this particular quiz, you are expected to have nothing less than 60% before you can proceed to week 2. You have a duration. It's a time quiz. And for this is a 15 minutes quiz. So we've put a lot of things into consideration why designing this program. One of them is how we can be able to access you easily from anywhere that you are connected. So this is an example of a question, and we are going to update this, but this is just what your question is going to look like. This is just a representation of what your question is going to look like, where you have a time quiz. You can finish the quiz. When you are done with the quiz, you can finish it. So basically, what we've been able to do is that we've been able to design a platform that is easy for you to use, a platform where you can interact, and when you are done, you can go back, a platform where you can interact with your instructors, you can drop your comments, you can drop, let's say you want to contribute, you want to reach out to your instructor. We are going to add their Slack link here that is going to directly allow you to be able to message your instructor. It's a platform where you can interact with all other mentees. You can watch the materials that we have provided for you, and also you can learn at your own pace. So basically, I will advise you as new mentees. I know over the next few weeks, you guys will be exposed to a lot of technologies, and all these technologies can be overwhelming at the first stage, but get yourself familiarized with this platform. learn at your own pace. We are also going to be having, like the program manager has said, we are going to be having different sessions where whatever we've given to you guys here, if you have questions, you can drop your questions in our Slack channel. Maybe during the week, you've been trying to look at what OSI model is, and then you have different questions you want to ask. You can get into the Slack channel, drop your questions, and by maybe during the weekend, I don't know, whatever time that you and your instructor have agreed on to have your sessions, you guys can deliberate on those questions, and then he or she can provide more insight on how you can understand that particular course better. So get yourself accustomed to this platform, familiarize yourself with it. It's going to be needed during the course of your stay at M4ACE, and I wish you all the best. Thank you very much. Over.
Thank you so much, Mr. Muiwa, for that insightful section. LMS well explained. I believe we now know how to move around the LMS. Thank you. So we're going to move on to the next on our program, which is building our community. That's the Slack channel. And to take us through that is our community manager, Mr. Olatunji Oluwayomi. Welcome, sir. Mr. Olatunji, are you with us, sir?
Yes, good evening, everyone. All right, my name is Ayumi, and I'll be running us through the Slack channel, how to make use of it, and what you're expected to do. All right. So the first thing is that for every participant in the Slack channel, these are the major things that is very important for you. You have to go and upload your picture, and your real name. Please go and do that now. Your real name and your picture. Without doing that, you will not be assigned to your learning domain. You will not be assigned to your learning management system. Please go and do that. All right, thank you. And also, if you check for each learning domain, for each learning domain, there's weekly meeting that's been bookmarked. So you just check your bookmark for your learning domain to see your uh, uh, weekly meetup links. So try to go do that. It will come up on Fridays. So make sure you check the your learning domain for that. And also the major reason for the uh, Slash channel is for conversation, interaction, and we want you to learn from your colleagues. Actually, with learning management system, we can actually run this program, and it will be successful. But we've come to realize that learning, when you with your colleague, you tend to learn better. There are some instances that you won't get what uh the instructor is saying, but dropping your message, your question in your learning domain, and maybe probably one of your colleague try to answer the question, you get to understand. So please, we want you to make sure that you actually you are active in your respective learning domain. Make sure you drop your questions there. And if you if someone is dropping a question and you know the answers to the question, please feel free to address it. That doesn't mean your instructor will not do the proper follow up, but as it's part of learning, please make sure you do that as well. And for your Q&A, always drop it on your learning domain. Don't wait until your weekly meeting. Try to drop it there. Try to drop it here. Your instructors, they are on the platform, checking those questions, making sure that the learning is a smooth one for you. Or also, so this I'll be working more with this with general uh hashtag mentorship and random. So please, I'll be dropping a lot of informations there. Please get yourself updated to these three channel, yeah, channel, except your aside for your learning domain. Get yourself acquainted to general, to hashtag mentorship and random. So that's where I'll be dropping a general informations and announcements. Also for the hashtag technical support, that's the channel, the technical support channel. Make sure if you're having any issue with your LMS, do where to drop it there. Our technical guys will definitely attend to any of your issue. Please make sure you're doing that. If you're having any issue, do it to drop it. And lastly, I'll still go back to what I said earlier. Upload your pictures and your rename. If not, you will not be assigned to any a learning management system. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Olotunji. That I believe that was clear, and I want to thank you for letting us understand the importance of community and networking. I also want to emphasize that the importance of accountability partnership cannot be overemphasized. So, our community manager have told us about peer learning and all that. That is very, very important. Okay, so moving on our program, we're going to be going to a very important. I target one of the most important sections. Every section is important, but this one is the juiciest, right? So we're going to go to get to our guest speakers, where we'll be drawing inspiration, we'll be drawing insight from experience and all that. And to handle this section is Mr. Isaac Wonders. Mr. Isaac Wonders, are you with us, please?
Yeah, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, it's nice having you here again. This is one of the most important phase of our training, and we would be inviting our guest speaker. We have three major guest speaker in the house, which I would be introducing them. We need to get ready to learn from them, learn from their experiences, and hear from them also. They will need to tell us how they were able to overcome some challenges, how they were able to scale through during their zero moment till they get to the peak of their career. So I would like to, we have three major guests here. So the first person is Mr. Jude Agbola. Mr. Jude Agbola, you're welcome. Then the next person on the face is Mr. Jonathan Ayodele. You're welcome. Then the third person we're having here is Mr. Oluyomi Owolabi. Mr. Rotimi Owolabi, you are welcome. So I would start with my first guest. But before I start with that, I would want you all to bring out your paper and pen. Please make sure you are jotting. Just be ready, because the person I'm here with is a master of code and master of innovation. Like, he's fully ready for us, and he's a brilliant mind. It's a full stack developer. So please, your questions, just get them ready. Your questions, if you are on YouTube, if you are on our page here, just get ready. They are always ready with us to give you good response. So I will call on Mr. Jude Marvin Agbola. He's a software engineer at Kepler. Previously, he was an engineer on the Gatsby framework team. He is on a mission to visit 30 countries before he turns 30. He has a profound passion for helping people grow and become more. So please, everyone, join me. Welcome, Mr. Marvin Jude Agbola. You're welcome, sir.
Hey, everybody.
You're
Let me know
welcome.
if you can hear me.
Yeah, we can.
Okay. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
It's evening where I am, so good evening, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about a very, very important topic. As you kickstart this career in tech, or as you plan on kickstarting this career in tech. It's a challenging one, but I just want to give you like some insights as you step into the game, like some insight that you're going to need as you move around because it's quite challenging, but I think you'd really need the stock. So today we're going to be talking about unlocking your tech superpowers. And when I first saw this image, I thought, yeah, it was pretty cool. And another thing that dropped in my mind was like, oh, you're getting muscles as well. No, not really. um, so yeah, really excited that everyone was able to make it. So hold on, I'm just gonna get my slides working correctly. Oh, interesting. Okay. I'd need to let my browser have access to screen share, and that's going to take a bit. Actually, I would need to quit and rejoin again. Sorry about
Okay.
All right. So as he's planning to join back, so let me just keep you guys busy and tell you more about Jude Agbola. So personally, Jude Agbola is actually my new mentor because I remember there's a time when I wanted to give up on this coding stuff. So actually, it's JavaScript that caused it, right? So I actually wanted to give up. I don't know what to do again. So I have to reach out to him and then ask him some questions. Just ask me, bro, send a link. So then I sent a link to him. So and then he just tried to encourage me, tell me what I need to do. And I can tell you, ever since then, yeah, my life has never remained the same, right? So and we are privileged to have him here with us. So and he's always with us. He's also on the Slack channel. So you can feel free to drop a question if you have any issue. We also attend to you. Yeah, thank you. I think he's back.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that. I'm kind of joining with a new computer, so it just needs access all over the place. Hope everyone can hear me and you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay. And I think I just reached yet another hurdle. Interesting. Hmm. Actually, is it okay if I let the next person go? Because I'm really struggling with my setup.
Okay, that's fine. Maybe.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. So I would move on to Mr. Jonathan Ayodele. He's a cybersecurity evangelist. Like, he's someone I so much know personally, and I so much respect him. So he's so much good in what he does. And when you talk about cybersecurity, it's someone you can always reach out to. So just ready for an insightful section with him. So welcome, Mr. Ayodele Jonathan. So let me read briefly about his profile before he comes in. And a dedicated cybersecurity professional and evangelist, holds a master's holds a master's in cybersecurity from Cardiff University, UK, through a Chevening scholarship. Through a Chevening scholarship, notable for advocacy and educational efforts, including SME training and participation in Digi programs. He founded a multinational community promoting access to strategic information for SDG goals, addressing tech ecosystem challenges in the UK, and along at the Cyber Runway Accelerator. Additionally, he actively contributes to various cybersecurity associations and publications, advocating for diversity and inclusion in the tech industry. So please welcome with me Mr. Ayodele Jonathan, a cybersecurity guru. You are welcome, sir.
All
Mr.
right,
Jonathan,
thank you. Can you
okay.
hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Hi, Isaac. Hi, everyone. Good to be here. And thank you for inviting me to this great initiative. When I first found out about it, when um, Adifemi sent me a message about it, and I felt like it was a very good, it was a very good initiative, and to also support people, getting the skills. And um, I mean, the world is going digital. It's now more new since 2020, COVID-19. We have seen how everything has literally changed. So there's need to for people to upskill, for people to be able to take advantage of the opportunities that are available to them. So it was something I was willing and was very enthusiastic about. And if I even coming on this meeting right from the beginning, I was seeing that it's really like a very, very robust thing that I even thought self, even with the LMS, with the courses, with everything, and even the speakers and even the mentors. I checked some of them out on LinkedIn, and even with the profiles I was sent, I've seen like it's a very, very robust programs, and I can tell you that you are in for a very big treat. So the only disservice that you do to yourself is not taking it serious, because you can see the quality of mentors, the quality of facilitators, the quality of the people behind the program itself, from the programs manager to the facilitators to the founder himself, who I even personally know, and a couple of them I know them personally, and I know the efforts that the effort that they have put into this program to make it succeed. In fact, they are even giving free data to this. The program is free in the first place, and then being now giving free data to. I was blown away. Like, wow, that's a lot of investment in people and capacity building. Which please just give your best emojis for the team behind this initiative. They have really done a fantastic job. Thanks to them. So thank you for asking me to come speak. I don't have a slide. I'm just going to just touch on a few points on what I've been asked to speak on. I've been asked to speak on um, upskilling the gateway to building a profitable career. So I'm just going to be, I have a few notes on my screen here. It's not a slide, but I'm just going to be, so like just to structure my thoughts and then be able to say a couple of things from them. So upskilling the gateway to building a profitable career. So just in case I run out of time, it's okay to just let me know. Maybe if I have 5, 10 minutes left or whatever, or you could just drop it on chat so I could know. Thank you, because sometimes I might tend to get too enthusiastic. Um, right. So upskilling the gateway to building a profitable career. I mean, this is not it's no longer in use, where at this age and time, if you are not upskilling, if you are not improving yourself, I mean, if you're not learning new things every day, there's no how you can grow. There's no how you can move forward. There's no how you can, you see a lot of people who just where they wanted to be, where they are rather, or they're not doing anything to improve themselves. They're not doing anything to improve their lives. They're not doing anything to. And let me tell you something. You think the people on the streets, the what are they called now? The agberos on the streets, or the people who ended up in a certain way that you would not necessarily want to end up. Do you think they didn't have dreams, or do you think that they wanted to be there? I mean, some of them probably did not want to be there, but it's probably because maybe they were not able to take advantage of a couple of things that's in a couple of advantages, or they allowed the circumstances surrounding them to define where they eventually ended up, which, I mean, being part of this program, it means that because you applied, I think a couple of hundreds of people also applied to this program, and we are one of the people who are selected for it. So you are on the right track, and you just need to now put in the more efforts and put and then take it serious to be able to get the best out of it. So So I've been asked to speak on my personal experience in upskilling and career advancement and career experience, and also tips for staying motivated during the learning process. I think this program is probably around 3 months plus or thereabouts. So you need to, there's the there's the possibility of your attention waning after a couple of times. We all start things and we want to finish. We don't necessarily would want to stop by the way, but life happens. Things can happen. Maybe you have other engagements to do or just got busy with life. How can you keep that motivation running? How can you stay motivated in your learning process? Because you're not going to become an expert just within a day. You're not going to become an expert just by attending this orientation or just by attending 1 week program or just even by attending a 1 month program. And then you say you've learned cloud computing, you've learned content writing and a couple of other skills that is being offered on this program. So you need to be motivated. You need to, how do you schedule your time? How do you increase continually stay motivated throughout the programs, throughout the assignments, throughout the events, doing your assignments, staying up to date with your mentors, interacting on the Slack channel, and doing all of those other activities so that you can get the best out of this program. So I'm going to speaking on that briefly, and also strategies to prepare and position yourself for a successful career. How can you position yourself to get the best out of this program? And also after graduating from this program, how can you position yourself to get the best in life? So just a bit of my, sorry? Okay, can you mute music? Can you mute music? There's a feedback. Hello?
So I thought it was someone that unmuted himself. You can go on.
Okay. Okay. I can see the feedback. Okay, I think it's good now. Thank you. So, just a bit of my experience. I mean, my first introduction to tech was when I was very young, and then I did computer science in university. I studied computer science. I personally just like love tech, everything about tech. And then then there was not. I mean, when I said then, it wasn't like it was 20 years ago. It was just very recently, So it wasn't like there was no boot camps like this where there were not a lot of them. And then if there were the most ones maybe you found out about Andela, which were some of the most successful boot camps, were the ones available then. Things like Andela, which was very difficult to get in, and then it was very, very also time consuming and um, very demanding. So those were the kinds of boot camp. Now it's not even democratized to this extent where you could have boot camps of people just wanting to give back to train other people. So I wasn't even. So then you have to do a lot of learnings by yourself. Go on YouTube, try to learn a couple of things. So when I first decided to go into cybersecurity was in my university, my final year level, and then I was doing a project related to security, and then I decided to do more research. So that's another thing. You have to also be willing to do a lot of research by yourself. Even though you might have mentors, you have an LMS, you have like a course where you will be getting thoughts from. You need to also have that inner determination, inner drive to be able to do some research by yourself, to be able to learn something by yourself, because give it or take it, you're not going to be taught everything. I mean, there's a saying that you can take an horse to the river, but you can't force it to swim. So you have to also have that personal drive, have that personal willingness to be able to figure out some things by yourself. And even though the mentors are there, the mentor is there to show you, to guide you, to put you in the right direction, to correct you, to mold you in the right way. But you also have to try to be independent in your learning, in the sense that you don't say, oh, the mentor is not available, so you're not going to do anything. That's not the mindset of somebody that is willing to learn. You must have the mindset, okay, I'm going into this program. I was one of the people that was selected. I must see it through. and I must put in the effort to be able to get out from the program successful and be able to become acquire a new skill by the end. So have that at the back of your mind, that mindset of regardless of whatever challenge I come across, because I can promise you, you're going to encounter challenge, different kinds of challenges, like I mentioned earlier, maybe life, different things, maybe network. Sometimes, the network might just be crazy and you might not be able to access anything online. And it's easy at that point to just say, I'm just not going to do anything. Like, but if it has to do with maybe getting an alternative, going to somewhere else, or borrowing someone else's hotspot, that is how you now that's how you differentiate yourself from the other person that wants to do the same thing, but they don't have that drive. They can't be able to push themselves even in the face of challenges. They don't have that resilience. So when you have that at the back of your mind, it helps you to be able to progress whenever it is that you encounter challenges. So from there, I started to do a lot of researching, personal learnings. I started to volunteer for programs, attend conferences, to meet with professionals, and then learn what was going on in the industry, and then started to like do some, and some learnings by myself. And so that was how I started. And then from there, started to take advantage of different opportunities, started to, find different opportunities online as regards to uh, tech trainings, most especially some things like this one, or maybe in terms of opportunities, in terms of conferences, in terms of training programs that I could take advantage of. And then also a lot of personal learnings, a lot of readings, a lot of research, a lot of doing your own thing by yourself without any structured learning process like this. So you are very, very in advantage being on this mentorship program. I can promise you, that. And so now let's talk a bit about how you can stay motivated during the program. How can you stay motivated during the program? One major thing is, like I mentioned earlier, having that mindset at the back of your mind that regardless of whatever challenges that you have, regardless of whatever it is that you face, you are going to see the program to the end. Because if you don't have the mindset, it's going to be very easy to just want to give up at the slightest chance. Another thing is to have like long-term goals. What is your long-term goals? Okay, maybe you enrolled in cybersecurity track, and then say, okay, maybe the program is for 3 months. At the end of the 3 months, you want to be able to do this specific thing at the end of that period. So tie your program to tie it to a specific goal. At the end of 3 months, you want to be able to use maybe a SIM tool. You want to be able to uh, understand how a SOC analyst works. You want to be able to understand how to read logs. Those are very specific goals. Don't just say you want to be a cybersecurity enthusiast at the end of the program. That's very, very vague. You want to be able to understand how to read logs. You want to be able to understand networking concepts. Those are some of the things that you can be very specific about, tying it to very specific things at the end of the program. Or when you look at the brochure or the content materials that are going to be taught through, you can tie it to that specific goals, and then now break down into midterm goals. Maybe at the end of the first month, if you see what is being taught, what's going to be taught at the end of the first month, give yourself that, okay, at the end of this first month, I want to have a very solid understanding of networks. If it's networks that are going to be taught in that first month, and then you say at the end of the first month, I want to have a very solid understanding of networks, understanding of DHCP, understanding of networking, understanding of the OSI model, TCP, and a couple of other things. So now it now depends on, so now that is for cybersecurity. Now, if you're in product management, if you're in content writing, if you're in other tracks, you have to do similar things where you set specific goals based on your learning, your learning process. So that you can be able to track your milestones as you progress, so that you know, okay, when you started, you didn't know this thing. Now, by this second week, by the third week, by the fourth week, you are knowledgeable about this thing. And it's not just enough to be knowledgeable about it. That would to also like be able to put it into practice, be able to understand how this works. For example, now you can understand how the OSI model works, but how is it practically? Can you explain what is going on when you type when you type an URL in your browser? That is now a practical explanation, a practical of how the OSI model works. Or can you explain, you understand, okay, you understand DNS, but what is DNS in reality? How can you explain DNS in reality? Maybe using your IP address, the IP address, translating it to words. That is really, maybe if you type your M4ACE, that is now a realistic explanation. So not just enough to have those theoretical knowledge, how can you apply it to real life? What is the application to real life? So those milestones would help you be key on, would help you to be on track. And then also being don't be an island on yourself. Don't be an island on yourself. That is why I believe the community is there, the Slack channel, which each track has its own channel which you can join to also interact with other members. If you are encountering any problems, or if you, I mean, it doesn't even necessarily have to be problems that you encounter on the course or on the program. If it, oh, there's no light today, you type it on the group chat, somebody could encourage you, oh, okay, maybe you could try again tomorrow. Or if you, even if you couldn't join the meeting tonight, and because you don't have light or you don't have internet, you send it on the group chat, oh, I would have joined today, because my laptop is low, that's why I'm not able to join. I'm trying to join on my phone. Things like somebody could even offer to give you assistance. So like, and then you are being accountable to somebody else, you're being accountable to your teammates. You don't say, oh, yeah, people are going to be looking at me. You are the one that know what you want to get from the program. So you don't have to consider where everybody is. And then everybody is there to learn. So if you are not even, everybody's there to learn, but you don't have to care about what everybody else is doing, whether they're learning or not. It is for your own advantage to be able to be accountable to your mentors, be accountable to your peers, be accountable, so that you are not learning in isolation, you're not facing your challenges in isolation. When you have people of similar minds around you, it helps you on that learning process. It helps you to encourage yourself, and then they are also able to encourage you when you have some setback, when you have some obstacles, because definitely you're going to face them, but it's now being able to take advantage of some of these tips I've mentioned, that you could also stay on track. So another thing that is worth mentioning is
Yeah, Mr. Jonathan.
right.
Yeah, I believe we are all enjoying you, but we have few minutes, to wrap up here. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right, thank you. So let me just quickly go to strategies for to position yourself for a successful career. So one of the main thing is you can be skilled, but if you're not well positioned, nobody will know that you're skilled. If you're not um, um, uh, if you're not telling people about what you can do, or you're not trying to like take advantage of opportunities, maybe internships. Now you have done this program. Now let's say you graduate from this program. Now how do you position yourself for career success? Things like, okay, post, if you're not on LinkedIn. I think that's even a section I would, if it's not already in the works, that I also suggest to the team to to have sessions on LinkedIn optimization, CV writing, communication skills for workplace, how you can position for international opportunities. That would be like a session that would be very advantageous. If you're not on LinkedIn, go on LinkedIn, create your profile, set it up according to, and then post about what you've learned. Post about things that you've learned on the program, and people can connect with people in your field. If you're in the project management field, connect with top project management professionals in Nigeria and also abroad. You have to also look beyond, go on remote sites that you can find maybe freelance jobs. But you also have to learn that process, and then tell people about what you do. Take advantage. If it's, or you could help on volunteer for projects. That's another thing. Volunteer for projects. I did a lot of volunteering, and I still volunteer to today. Volunteering can get you to places that you don't. I mean, I'm not saying you should now always work for free every time, but you have to know sometimes there are some you have to be very discerning where you can say, okay, you could volunteer for this project, and then because that, yeah, you have to be very strategic that you are, of course, definitely going to be open to more opportunities if you take advantage of that. So volunteer for projects. If you have a friend that is working on a startup, or if you have different things, or even for a project, even when you are working on projects in the class, you could say, oh, tell your mentors, oh, I want to take the next class, or I want to do a revision of what we did last week for my team members. That also reinforces your learning. it reinforces your learning and then helps you to remember what things that you've learned properly, and then post about things that you've done online. Read about what's going on in your industry, connect with people in your networks, and then also have build your portfolio. If you don't have a portfolio already, depending, I guess that's probably what we taught in the class too. Depending on the track that you're on, if you're on the graphic design, you should have a graphic portfolio. You could even volunteering. I would say very key thing is volunteering. Volunteer for a lot of programs, take advantage of volunteer opportunities, and then you can be able to put yourself in front of people who are who matter for in your field, and then you can be able to leapfrog from there. So I would stop here right now, and then thank you so much. I hope I'll probably take questions when there are questions. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Jonathan Ayodele. This is really an insightful period, an insightful moment for everyone. So, one of take home I want everyone should is you need to connect on LinkedIn, make sure you volunteer, and try to grow your network. Reach out to people, reach out to mentors, reach out to people in your network, people learning the same field. Try to, oh, I want to take this mentor, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. Please just try to do that. And as you do this, you would see you are getting a profitable career. Thank you very much once again. And please don't forget, please, our questions, let's keep typing them down. Write it down. You would have a moment where you can ask questions. Please, let's keep writing them down. Let's keep putting our thoughts together to get our questions. So because of our time, I will move on to the next speaker, Mr. Oluwarotimi Owolabi. He's a DevOps guru, a DevOps wizard. He's a highly accomplished DevOps engineer, known for his strong commitment to collaboration and problem solving. He actively mentors and guides beginners in programming and advocates for inclusion in tech industry, making a significant impact in various communities. Through his dedication to education and sharing knowledge, he has trained over 500 individuals and is recognized for his contribution to the African tech ecosystem. So join me to welcome Mr. Oluwarotimi Owolabi. Please let's clap and I want to see that emoji coming in. You are welcome, Mr. Owolabi Rotimi.
All right. Good evening, everybody.
Yeah, good evening. You are welcome, sir.
Okay, I'll just confirm everybody could hear me. So first off, I just want to appreciate
We can hear you.
Okay, thank you. I just want to appreciate the leadership here and those who put such a great platform together. Just because of time, I think we've far spent time. I'm supposed to speak on my own personal upskilling and then my career experiences. So I'm just going to skip that. Probably later in the future, we can actually get up to par with that. And then, so I'm just going to give certain tips for staying motivated during the learning process. I'm going to mix that with strategies to prepare for and position yourself for successful careers. First thing, before we speak about like motivation, at least you must have started to want to stay motivated. And what you're doing now is apparently the first step towards that vision. Most likely during the course of this program, you're going to encounter what I personally refer to as tutorial hell. Yeah, most of us have experienced that going through before you came here, some of us, because I went through that. And I'm very, very certain that most of us are going through it presently. You keep watching videos, you keep switching from one tech career path to the next. Today, I'm a product designer. Tomorrow, Adamu is a web designer. Just a couple of seconds later, is looking at DevOps. And whilst for a start, that does not look like it's bad or shouldn't be bad necessarily. Maybe you're testing the waters to see where you really fall. It can amount to what I refer to as tutorial hell. So you just keep learning and you never actually improve. So I've seen a part of the curriculum and it actually looks like it's going to help prevent that. So if you can stick to that curriculum, that would be great for you. That's one. So two, do it yourself. we oftentimes make the mistake of expecting everything to be taught to us, just as mentioned as by the previous speaker, as Jonathan. He mentioned this. So he has stated that no matter what, you need to still do stuff yourself. So you need to still review stuff. You can't be taught everything. That's definitely for sure. So do it yourself before. So you have a curriculum. At the start of this presentation, they are giving you like a course outline. What's for one of the parts, the tech parts. So depending on the tech part you've chosen, you're going to also receive that content. That's, what should I call it now? That progress chat. So on your own, before or even after you have commenced, you should also look at those things in depth. Most of us abuse documentation. By abuse, I know everybody's like, we use it anyhow, but that's not what I'm stating. Most of us ignore it. And that's very, very bad. Like the first place you should actually find whatever you're looking for. If it's a good documentation, everything is already stated there. The whole journey, whatever you could probably encounter using that. If you do encounter something that is not on the documentation and is a good documentation, then you've made a very serious break. And that's what's, in quotes, open source community is looking out for. So it means you're also on the right path to doing great things, and then you'll be recognized for identifying issues or solutions to problems that were not already stated, which is actually still great for a beginner. Networking. So let me just touch a little about the strategies to prepare for and then position yourself for a successful career. I know they'll be like, okay, you should know these things perfectly, which is mostly almost impossible. You can just be very good, but I doubt you can never be perfect. These things keep evolving. So I believe strongly in networking. Let's be a very, very shy person. I still am. I did not used to speak to people at all. I've changed that. If not, there's no way I'd have gotten to the point at which I am today. Is it the point I want to be? No. Obviously, more networking is going to suffice. And with more networking, it means that you have to actually get to the point where, as you're networking, everybody recognizes that, yeah, you can get the job done because you can actually get the job done. So not just networking alone doesn't stand at par with that. So you have to actually learn hard. Now, like the previous mentor mentioned, you have to actually like tell it, say it, loud it in our terms. Whatever you're doing, loud it. You're starting a new career, or you are starting your dream career right now. The journey of learning, document it. Let the world know that this is you starting product design now. This is you starting backend development now. Show your progress. Like that drive to always want to post something better than what you've done before. We also improve your learning, your learning curve. So it keeps going high like that. And the more people are interested in what you're doing, or just realize, oh yeah, I have somebody close, Isaac Wonders. He does backend. I don't know if it's good yet, but let's give it a try. In fact, the first job I used to believe is the hardest. Exactly. So I know that was me talking back to myself. Sorry about that. So the first job is most likely the hardest. Once you have that and you do it well, then other jobs will just fall in place, whether you want it or not. So it's now be about your time. So if you can do the first job well, meaning you have to have gotten to the point where you are satisfied with yourself that you've made progress. You will know if you've made progress. So just actually keep at it and ensure that you do not falter. Those are really what I probably do have for tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Rotimi. You've really blessed us with a lot of points. And one of take home I would like everyone to learn is, he said, do it yourself. try to do it yourself. You can't learn everything at a go, but just try to keep doing it and leverage more on your network, like reach out to people, get job maybe through your friends. When people know you are consistent about something, they will always want to reach out to you. Please just try to reach out. And I believe we are still trying to bring out our questions. Our guests are still around. They are still very much around to answer all your questions. So we move back to Mr. Jude Marvin. Are you ready for us, sir?
Oh yes, I am.
Okay, okay. So welcome with me, Mr. Jude Marvins. As earlier I called him a code and innovation master. Welcome, sir.
Indeed. Thanks for having me. Hey everybody, I'm sorry for the issues. Apparently, I'm joining with a new computer and it's just proving difficult. So yeah, I'm gonna share my screen right away. Okay, great. I hope everyone can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Okay, yeah, we can see your screen.
All right. So unlocking your tech
Yeah, we
superpower.
can see your screen.
Yeah, unlocking your tech superpowers. That's what we're going to be talking about today. And when I'm not talking about Wakanda, neither am I talking about building all of this labs that you get to see in all of these movies that's about fictions and all those things, right? And also you don't get to have muscles as well. So hi, my name is Jude Agbola. I'm a software engineer at Kepler. Previously, I've done a lot of open source work. Previously, I used to work at Gatsby on the core open source team, building a somewhat popular JavaScript framework. So today, I just want to walk you through like all of the things that maybe not all, but some things that are very useful as you embark on this journey to a great or successful tech career. So this is a little bit more about myself. I have over a decade of experience in engineering, and I wrote my very first line of code in 2014. That was when I got to school, and there was this course, CSC, uh, that was CSC 112, I guess. And, the lecturer was asking people questions like, oh, this, coding related questions, and people were answering. I'm like, how did these people even know this thing? Because I was completely clueless and never knew that anything called programming existed, right? So that was like the very first time I got to hear about coding and the very first time I got to play with it myself. So it goes without saying, I have a traditional computer science background, and I'm passionate about exploring the world and trying out new things. And so the big question, what do you need to succeed in tech, to have a successful career in tech? I would say that you need three things: blood, sweat, and water, right? Does that sound right? Anyways, maybe something like that, because it does need a lot of struggle, a lot of like commitment, a lot of self-motivation, right? It's not the case where like someone pampers you and you're getting into this program and maybe you expect that someone's gonna like, oh, how about you learn this, or how about you learn that. I don't really think that you're going to go far that way. I think it's mostly about you developing an interest, you pursuing that interest very, very passionately. And if I look around and see people that have succeeded in engineering in such a short time, I would give it to them on their resilience and how fast they're able to take in a lot of information, right? You'd see that these people are sort of dogged, like even just mere walking, working with them, you get to see that these people are sort of passionate. So just you wanting to make tech money isn't going to be enough for you to have a successful career, in my opinion. Maybe you need something more. You need something more when the going gets very tough, right? Because I mean, you have code to write and you have documentations to read, you have problems to solve. All of that can get very, very crazy as you go along. But I think um, having the motivation by yourself helps you a whole lot. Like you don't need someone to like drag you and oh you need to learn this and you need to learn that. Fine, it's okay to have moments where you just feel like maybe this thing is not working and all that and you take a step back. But I don't think it should happen all the time, right? You need a lot of self-motivation in this journey. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my story. I have a traditional computer science background. I graduated in 2017, and 2014 was when I saw programming for the first time, and I started pursuing, I started learning stuff on my own, right? And what I saw around me around that period of time was a lot of people trying to learn. And when I say trying to learn, it's by like by talk, right? Okay, I'm gonna learn programming this year. Or like, oh, I'm gonna come over to your hostel so you can teach me this thing. And you get to see like a very common pattern where like they keep wanting to learn this thing, or like they keep saying that they want to learn this thing, but it never happens, right? So I would say that most part of my journey was filled with like self-learning. There was no platform like your people get to like show you where you can get to, right? So I would say that's very important in your journey, very important, and I'm repeating that severally. So I saw people in that condition where they're always trying to learn, and I took it upon myself because it was something I was really passionate about. And always I'll always be in the computer lab back in school, with other people that are also interested in programming, and we'll be sharing ideas and showing ourselves what we're building and all of that. That was what it was like. And then I graduated in 2017, went to serve in 18, got my first job in 2019. And the very start is gonna be rough, right? You're not gonna get the tech money that you want to make, right? Maybe you're gonna make 150,000, but maybe 150,000 naira may become $150,000 tomorrow, right? And I'm saying this from experience. So maybe you need to to put in a lot of effort into self-learning and not just wait for anybody. Don't wait for your mentor, or like I'm not sure what those people are called here, but don't wait for people to like push you or like give you pep talk all the time. You need to move fast on your own. So that's a little bit about my story. So okay, maybe it's not blood, sweat, and water, but maybe something related. So what do you need then? You need continuous learning, right? Um, Someone was asking me about like what the industry is like, or like what the career space is like, and I told them it's like mostly learning, right? You continue to learn and learn and learn. I still learn myself. There's a lot of things that I don't know, right? And that's not going to change throughout my career. There's still going to be things that I don't know. So it's a thing where you continuously learn, and that's what I want you to put at the back of your mind. It's something that you're going to need to build a successful career, right? You need to like gain a lot of knowledge from all these things that you're learning, and how you're going to learn them if you don't continuously learn them. So you need continuous learning. Um, and the person I was talking to was like, "Oh, I didn't know that it was like that kind of one, like where you always learn stuff and learn them." Yeah, that's what it is. So if you're not cool with that kind of space, maybe you want to learn something else, because that's exactly what it is. You always be in a position where you wouldn't know X, you wouldn't know Y, and you have to learn it. And then tomorrow there'll be more things for you to learn, right? So that's what it's like. What else? You also need collaboration and networking, right? Back in 2020, I reached out to a lot of people online. right? A lot of people that do, make courses, just seeking career advice, just asking them questions and all of that. And I was looking back at my Twitter DM sometime back, and then I'm saying, so I messaged this guy like many years ago, and then eventually we got to work in the same company, right? So, a lot of things can happen by you just like connecting with people, just asking questions, maybe there's someone that you connected with online, he works at Meta or what have you, and then you just feel like you should like shoot him a question or ask about something. Feel free to do that. And recently someone, I think it was like 6 months ago, he just reached out to me. Hey, I saw you worked at Gatsby XYZ. I was like, yeah, and he was asking me questions and all of those. And then I got an opportunity to refer somebody for a role. And who else am I going to think of if not him, right? So I just reached out to him. Hey, are you interested in this opportunity? And eventually he got the job, right? So collaboration and networking is super, super important. So anytime I travel, and there are like engineers around that area, I get to just, send them a message. Hey, what's up? Do you want to hang out? This way I get to meet a lot of people, learn about how they are where they are right now, and just hear their story. And it just helps you see things from a different perspective and gives you an opportunity to also grow in different areas in your own career. So what else do you need? You also need to embrace failure, right? Because obviously you're not always going to get the job. Obviously you're going to get a lot of rejections. Like, yeah, you apply for this job and they bounced you. You go to the last stage, they bounced you. It happens all the time. So maybe it's not really about you. And about 7, 8 months ago, an ex-colleague referred me to a job at Microsoft. And then I went through it and, submitted my application. And it seemed like it was going well at first. And all of a sudden, the whole process just ended. And I was really frustrated. And I'm like, why did this happen? It felt like I was perfect for the role. It's like, well, maybe it's not about you. Maybe it's about like a lot of other factors that are beyond your control. So I need you to understand that you would run into cases that are not really palatable, and maybe it's not really about you, right? So those are the three things that have really helped me in my career. Like I earlier said, the motivation part, that doesn't go away. You always need that because you want to make tech money isn't going to help you, right? Like I still go crazy in front of my computer every work day trying to figure out stuff, and that's not going to go away. If you just want to make tech money, obviously you're going to be frustrated. So I always try to tell people that anytime I'm in a setting where people talk about tech money, and it's mostly for people that are trying to come in, because I don't really think that's enough to like keep you through all of the challenges. But well, it may be like some sort of motivation when the money comes in, but you still have to keep your motivation high. So these are the things that I wanted to share with y'all. And I don't want to take too much time, but maybe we can already, correct me if I'm wrong. The next stage is a Q&A stage, right, Isaac?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. So I just want to maybe kickstart the Q&A phase of this and just answer questions about like anything that you may have in mind, software engineering, remote work, all of that. Yeah, thanks a lot. And I'm gonna stop sharing my screen.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Jude Agbola. It was really a moment to learn, an expository moment for every one of us. So you mentioned learning tech requires blood, requires water, and requires what other thing again? Energy. So we need to give it all. You need to be resilient, and you need to give all it takes So I'll be moving away now for the next person on board.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. My name is Jeremiah, and I'll be anchoring the Q&A and also the wrap-up section. I have been seeing some questions in the income messages. I wanted to keep it coming, although we have limited time, but at least we would have time to attend to many of the questions. So, as you've heard rightly from our patrons, Mr. Jude Marvin, Mr. Jonathan, Mr. Arutimi, tech is, yeah, there's money in tech, but it involves a lot of energy, sweat, and so many others. So, I believe you have many questions, and I have three patrons with multitude years of experience in the field and hands-on experience that willing to answer your questions based on what they've experienced, what they've passed through. So I'll be taking the questions from the income messages and be welcoming on board the mentors also that you that I can call to answer the questions in addition to the many patrons we have on board. So join me to welcome Jim Ateg Alfred from the brand identity design domain. Can you just signify if you're there? IG, are you there? Okay, likewise, I have Adibola Andrew, a mentor from the backend engineering, also on board. And likewise, I have Maureen Onova from the front-end engineering on board, and Mr. Hayek, also user interface designer, also is here also to answer our questions. So the first question I'm taking from the income is, most jobs require number of experiences. How do we navigate considering that we are just starting our journey? Most jobs usually require a number of experiences. How do we navigate considering that we're just starting our journey? I will direct the question to Mr. Jude Marvin. Can you do us the honors of answering that question?
Yeah, that's a very, very good question. So, and that's a concern that is really common among people that are starting out. And of course, in Nigeria, they don't even make it easy for you, right? They want you to be 24 and they want you to have 5 years of experience and all that. Well, how can you navigate that? I would say that every employer of labor wants to see what you can do, right? Especially like in the software engineering side, right? They want to see what you can do, and that can easily get you in the door, right? And how can you show what you can do? You know, you can build a portfolio, you can build side projects, and all of the side projects are sort of like evidence that you can do this and you can do that, right? So I would say that that one is super important for every engineer that's just getting started. You need to be able to show that you can do this, right? And trying out internship opportunities, maybe not actual jobs, but like internship opportunities where you get to like put that up as an experience can also be a way to go. So, but overall, I would say showing that you can do all of these things and they can see that you are able to do all of these things without having you on the call, because sometimes it's just like look through all the things and they make a decision from there. So maybe that's the opportunity that you have to convince them that you can do all of these things. So side projects, putting yourself out there, showing that you can do all of these different things is always helpful. Let me give you an example. LinkedIn. I know some people that got started with tech and they get to like
post a lot of things on LinkedIn, share what they're learning, learning in the open and showing that, oh, this is what I learned today. It shows that you're really enthusiastic. It shows that you are learning all of these things. It shows that at least you know something and you're trying to still push hard and learn. That's an important trait to see in someone that doesn't really have, like, you know 2 years, 3 years experience. You need to see that in them. And I can tell you for sure that there are people that have landed like junior roles just by doing that, right? So again, put yourself out there, show what you can do, and the opportunities will definitely come.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jude. That was quite a handful of information. Work on your portfolio with side projects, put in for internships, and we can have the experiences we desire. Thank you very much. The next question I'll be taking is, how easy would it be for someone without a tech background to transition into the field? How easy would it be for someone without a tech background to transition into the field? I'll begin on Mr. Jonathan, a cybersecurity professional, Patron, to answer that question, sir.
All right. Thank you so much, Jamara. So, depending on how you choose to look at the question, right? I'll say it all depends on personal motivation, personal discipline, personal interest. I've seen a couple of people who have transitioned from entirely unrelated backgrounds into tech. I mean, there are various aspects of tech, but regardless, you don't necessarily depend. I mean, a structured background in tech, maybe like a degree, provides some form of provides some form of like leapfrog and experience that you can use to leverage. But regardless of that, if you are coming from different backgrounds that is unrelated to tech, it's still possible. It just depends on how determined you are, which should be one of the main things. How much do you want it? And another key thing is, if you're getting into tech for the wrong reasons, it would be easy to lose motivation. It would be easy to lose discipline. It would be easy to give up. For example, now I think Jude was saying that tech money. We talk about tech money. So if you're going into tech because you feel like there's a lot of money in tech, which is true, but there's a lot of money in tech is not usually for the beginners. So if you think that you're going to learn tech for 6 months and you think you're going to be earning six figures or five figures, you just putting up yourself for disappointment. So you should go into tech for the right reasons, which is you want to upskill, you want to upgrade yourself, you want to be competitive in the marketplace in Nigeria and also outside Nigeria. Not because there's money in tech. There's money in tech should come as a side advantage of you investing in yourself, which will definitely come when if you're progress. So if you're going to tech because you want to upskill, then you have the right motivation, you have the right motive, the right discipline to be able to continue, even though you don't have the background. So definitely, it's very very possible as long as you are transitioning for the right reasons, because you want to upskill or for any other necessary reason aside from because it's financially attractive. So yeah, it will be, and also you also have to surround yourself with people of like minds. Um, if you're learning, if you're learning with a group of people, it's much more easier to keep the motivation going than if you're learning on your own. Except if you are super driven, which a lot of people are. So, but if you know yourself that okay, it's gonna be very difficult to learn on your own because of challenges and all of that. You can find maybe a learning partner, an accountability partner, a mentor, or what have you, that you could be learning together, updating yourself and all of those things. So you, because it's a little bit more difficult if you're coming a non from a non-related background, but it's not undoable. It's doable, very, very doable. I've seen a couple of people from unrelated backgrounds that transition. I've seen someone from who is a medical doctor that transitioned to become a cybersecurity professional. So it's possible. Just you have to put in it has to be the first thing. It has to be the right motivation. Second thing is you have to have the right required discipline and persistence, and that will keep you going. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jonathan. That was quite helpful information. Thank you very much for answering the question religiously. The next question I'll be taking because of our time is, what is portfolio really all about in the tech world? Is it just like normal resume or CV? I would love to call on our third patron, Mr. Rotimi, to answer that question. Again, what is portfolio really all about in tech world? Is it just like a normal resume or CV? Mr. Rotimi.
All right. So that's quite simple. Yeah, you're on track when you say resume, but let's look at it more like proof. So the proof of your resume. So for developers, designers, and what have you, once you've stated, okay, this is what you do, you need some sort of proof if they don't already know you, or you're not getting it through networking. Maybe somebody suggested you. Even at that, they might request for some sort of portfolio, work you've done before. So you could have your own portfolio that you've created for yourself that has details about you, a few of the work you've done, contributions you've made that are in line to whatever tech role you handle. That's just what it is. So it's proof of life of whatever is on your resume in handwritten form.
Could you be more could you expatiate more on that? How do they create it? Is it like a MS Word document or a Google document, or what exactly a platform creation of portfolios?
Well, so different depending on the parts you're on, I'm just going to use say web development and then for that of design as an example. So if you're a designer now, not a developer, say you do UI UX and all of that, there's a platform called, for example, like Behance. So you could configure that or set that up as a portfolio. So all the work you do, all the designs you've done from scratch or designs you've done for other people that do not have probable NDAs attached to them, you can post them on that, or your personal projects, personal designs, you can put that on. For developers, so it's more like depending on the part you are on, that will determine the type of portfolio you have, because your portfolio wants to say stuff about you. So if you're a web designer, most likely, or most importantly, your portfolio should be some sort of website that has or handles or does every single thing or most of what you've detailed in your CV that you do. So you should have probably a web developer should have a website that has details about you. Probably the landing page has a little detail about you. See some of my works when I go into the next page. So yeah, I'm most likely creating already a proof of websites to claim that this is what you do. So I'll just leave just two examples with you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rosen, an explanation. The next one we're taking because of our time, I have two more. I'll be directing the question to Mr. Femi, Mr. Sanyolu Femi, the cloud computing expert and the convener of this program. So the question from a mentee: do we get to work or collaborate on actual projects in the course of learning? Do we get to work or collaborate on actual projects in the course of learning? Mr. Femi.
Yeah, all right. Thank you very much, and then thank you so much for the person that asked the question. Yeah, so the plan, what we actually have in plan is that after your learning period, which is going to take like about 6 months, so people are going to have different group, that is people from front end, back end, and some other tracks. They will come together and build a real life project. And aside from that, you are still going to be building many projects as assignments in your learning domain. But immediately after the learning period, So we have a couple of projects in mind, and then, but before then, we still actually, after we group you, we still actually allow you to go make research. If there's anything that's actually in your mind that you want to build, so we give you maybe like 1 or 2 weeks to come to as a group and come back to us, tell us, okay, this is what you want to build, and tell us why, right? So if it is what we think is good, then we allow you to move forward. So basically, after the program, we have the plan that um, people from different learning domain will come together, they will collaborate together and build more of like a startup project. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ephraim. That was quite detailed. Yeah, the last question we're taking for the night because of our time, I'll be directing it to Mr. Jude Marvin. And the question is, are there certificates that must be gotten in tech world before someone can push his portfolio for employment? I think that has been answered, but I was hoping you could just shed a little more light on it, Mr. Jude. Are there certificates that must be gotten in the tech world before someone can push his portfolio for employment?
So I don't really think so. Um, it's not really like a prerequisite, right? So the thing that I see people that don't understand the tech world, what I see them, especially software engineering, I'm speaking from the software engineering point of view, right? So I don't know if it applies in cybersecurity, but Jonathan can correct me. But the misconception is that you need to have like this software engineering certificate and to show that you are a practicing software engineer or all of those things that all of these doctors or every other, dentists and all of this other medical people usually have, right? It's not really a thing in the tech world that much, right? Especially software engineering. You can get by showing that you can do these things, right? If I'm trying to hire an engineer on the team, I don't really care about what certificate that you've gotten. Maybe it could show that you are a little bit more resilient or you are passionate about learning stuff, but it doesn't really show your in-depth ability, right? So I'd say it's not a prerequisite, right? You can just get all of the certificates as just like something extra, but it's not really, don't think that you need to get this and this and this, then you're ready to go. That's not the case. I don't have any professional engineering certificate. So I don't think you need anything like that, except you just want to have them as a reward for you spending like 1 month learning this course and something, and you get a certificate for it. Fine, you can put that on your LinkedIn, but you wouldn't necessarily need that as like, something before you get a job. So if that answers the question. And just to get like a more rounded view of that question, I would say maybe Jonathan can weigh in a little bit on that. Is it the same? Yes. Like, would you specifically need sort of certification to be a good hire?
Yeah, so I get your
But
point.
before Mr. Jonathan, before you answer that, I would like you to also answer this with it because I had the intention of calling you to answer this. So you could just do both together. How do one deal with procrastination and imposter syndrome? How do one deal with procrastination and imposter syndrome? So you could just shed a little more light on this by discussing about that also because
Right,
of our
right,
time.
thanks. All right. So for I just saying the point that certifications. So for cybersecurity certifications, you depending on kind of where you're trying to get into. So if you're going for an experienced role and you don't necessarily have a lot of experience, so certifications could prove that you can do what you claim that you can do. Because cybersecurity, it's not very depending on what you are applying for is not as like hands-on. They are not like there are some hands-on parts, but like I wouldn't say you can show like proof like in software engineering to show projects you built. You can show those kind of things like that in cybersecurity, except maybe your own labs and kind of thing. So there's kind of like a good blend. If you're applying for an experienced role, certifications might be like an advantage to show that okay, you have this knowledge. Well, if you are applying for like an entry level role, I wouldn't say certifications are not really necessary because entry level roles you are literally going to be learning from that experience. So you don't need um, a certification to get into entry level, maybe like rules for like entry level 1 year experience. You could just show maybe projects you've done or things like how you could maybe build an home lab or be able to connect this SIM to this Active Directory or those kind of things. But for experienced role, if you're applying for an experienced role, maybe but you don't have that experience directly, certifications might be a way to show the employer that you probably can do some of those things. So you have to now know where the point is. Certifications are very useful in cybersecurity, but it's also not the only goal. You also should be able to do the things like do some of the things, do a lot of the things that you claim that you could do, instead of just racking up certifications without having any of those experiences. So it's kind of like 50-50, depending on where you're taking it from. Yeah. So for the, what was the other question? Imposter syndrome and what?
Question is, how do you overcome imposter syndrome and procrastination?
Right. Okay. So for, I mean, that imposter syndrome, I would say a lot of us still would say we still experience it. I was on a top level meeting sometime um, last week, and the category of people on that meeting they were talking about imposter syndrome, and some of them were still saying like they still experience imposter syndrome. And I'm like, wow, okay, who am I then? So now they ask me this question, like it seems everyone at some points in their life, in their journey, experience imposter syndrome. But the main thing I would say is not to allow it to draw you down. Just know that yeah, you have to also develop that confidence in your abilities. Know that okay, you are able to do that thing, and then that's where the first thing comes from. You are capable, and you are sure that you are capable of some of these things, and you can do them, and then you remind yourself that okay, you can do them, and be able to that you'll be able to help your confidence level, regardless of where it is. For procrastination, I would say you just well, there's one thing I read which says that you make the pain of inaction greater than the pain of procrastination, which means that you see it as I think was that exactly how it was said. So for you not doing what you have to do, put a kind of like I would say reward for doing what you have to do, and then put a kind of like reward in the negative for not doing it. So that's kind of like making the pain of inaction greater than the pain of action. So that should be able to propel you to do what you have to do because almost everyone suffers from procrastination, but just being able to manage your time, knowing that okay, this is, and also reminding yourself that this is where you want to get to, this is where you are aiming to get to, and then this is your main goal, this is the goal that you have for your life, for yourself, and this is a vehicle that can take you to that point. And if you don't do what you have to do, there's no way you're going to get there. There's no way you are going to achieve what you want to achieve. And then having that on the back of your mind, having that mindset can also help you to be able to beat procrastination and do what you have to do. And also having a depending on so know when you should work, understand yourself when you work best. For example, maybe you work best in the nights, in the mornings, or in the evenings. Capitalize your on your peak times. So when if you know you work best at night, know that okay, that time period, block it out. You want to be able to achieve so number of things during that period, and then even though you play it throughout the day, you know that when it comes to that time when you are very productive, you're going to be able to achieve everything that you have to achieve. So that's another way to be able to be productive. Even if it's one thing you're able to do, you know that you're being productive at that particular point. So it's not just about working 24/7. That's not about beating procrastination. Knowing when you perform optimally and taking advantage of that period of time and then doing everything that most of the things that you have to do during that period. I hope that helps. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jonathan. That was quite explicit. Thank you very much, Mr. Jude, Mr. Rutimi. It was quite a night. We had a lot of insight into your life background and experience in the career and tech field. And we are hoping for you to leverage on this information we've gotten from you to make ourselves better, even in the tech world. And also, um, I trust that these new people and mentees that have been incorporated into this field can now look up and see you as people and look up to and strive to attain the height you also attained. And it's my prayer that the Lord help you will help all those ones also in Jesus' name. So not too much of our time. The feedback form is in the in-call messages. Please try to click on it and fill it in the Google form that tries to evaluate program with the organization tonight. So please do well to click it at the end of this call so that you'll be able to fill it and submit before the end of the call. To wrap up, I want to encourage us to always be active on the channel. The Slack channel is our major channel for dropping information and updates as regards the program as we progress. So try to be there. And on the Slack channel, we have various learning domains. So you'll be invited to your mentors if you've not been invited, but you must join the general page first. And I believe we've been shown how to work on the Slack channel earlier. So the Slack channel is very, very important. It's key because from there you will get all the information you need to the learning management system, to your mentors, and to many other information you need. So you really need to be there. If you are not there, please find a way to be there. Maybe you drop your message in the income before you're done, or you reach out via mail or however. So the next thing I'll be also saying is that the mentors for the programs, we have many mentors for the domains, and I believe all of us here know the domains we have, that is the programs you're offering. At the point of registration, you must have seen and pick the ones you want. You can interact with your mentor on the Slack channel. You can also interact with them. The Slack channel also contains their social media handles, their LinkedIn, Instagram for those that are on Instagram, Twitter particularly, and some other social media platforms that you can interact with them on and you can keep up with them. As we launch into the program, another thing I want to say finally is it's important for you to follow our social media handles on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram. We have Mentorship for Acceleration. Just type Mentorship for Acceleration in the search bar of either Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. The three of them particularly. Please try to type it there and follow us so that we can keep track of the program as it progresses. You can be up to date with it. This is the first cohort. Before the end of the year, looking towards having another cohort. So those that could not join now, if you have friends or family members to bring in, after the success of this first cohort, you can always join us in the next cohort, and we trust God for grace. Also, very importantly, we must all follow the social media pages of Mentorship for Acceleration. If it is not for acceleration, then there is no mentorship. So please try to search it on the search bar of the social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram, particularly. It's very, very important. So please try to search for them and follow and engage the post. Like, comment, share the post that you see on those social media platforms. And finally, also the data provision. We have a partner, data plan provider. Is an app and a website whereby you can register on with M4ACE as your referrer, and you can get opportunity of getting subsidized data plans and also free data. For about 25%, we are giving free data for the first 25% to register, and subsequently subsidize data plans for as many data plans you want to engage in or you want to participate in and join in. The question I'm saying here is where are we to drop our pictures and names just given the LMS? That is on the Slack channel. You'll be added to your domains on the Slack channel, and from your domain you'll be able to join the LMS and have access to it. It's going to be based on invitation. So as you can see earlier, it was being demonstrated. The prices there are just there, but you are operating on it based on the scholarship, so to speak. So it's going to be on invitation base. So you don't have to pay the money there. Once you're on the Slack channel, you get a mentor into the learning management system. Get to pick and interact with the materials there, and even weekly you get one-on-one with your mentor, live class, as many as possible depending on your mentor's plan and arrangement. So with you all, I think I'll be passing the baton of this program to Mr. Spanyol Femi, the core and the convener, the board of things, and to any other thing, any other business. But most important, drop this, kindly please engage the form in the in-call messages is very, very important. The feedback form, please engage on the social media handles on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter. Mentorship for acceleration. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful night rest.
All right. Thank you very much, Ini, for that wonderful session. So, yeah, so it's my turn and to give vote of thanks. Yeah, basically, we really like to appreciate each and every one of us. Please celebrate yourself for at least making it up to this point. You know, we have over 250 something people that registered, but we are able to like accept 100. So you are a celebrant, right? So you have to celebrate yourself at least for making it up to this level. Yeah, so I want to really sincerely appreciate each and every one of us, most especially our patron. So I want to appreciate you for joining us out of your schedule, your busy schedule. Please, you give us your time and you make yourself available, and everything, each and everything you have actually shared with us will always be with us. In fact, I myself have been jotting down, and I'm still going to go back to the recording of this meeting to learn more. So I really want to appreciate you, starting from in no particular order. My own particular mentor, like I've said before, he is my mentor, and I remember when I was about to give up back then. So he is the one that's, in fact, let me say, is the first. I think I saw HTML first of all on his computer. I remember back then in Vision Villa, back then in the uni. So I just got admitted. So I just saw him writing code. I was like, wow, so this is code. So just let me know there's nothing there. So I then just explain some kind of things. And since then, I've developed passion for it. And then when I was about to give up, I had to really shout to him. And then he gave me some advice. And yeah, so although I've not gotten to where I want to be, but at least by his mentorship, and that's I am here now. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why we are actually bringing up this idea, right? You know, it's not easy to go alone, right? Don't be a lone ranger. You know, so there are so many times I know Oluwaro team actually made mention of tutorial hell. So I've gone through it, yeah, and I believe each and every of us many of us will have gone through it, right? You know, watching tutorial, you don't even know what you are learning, and you don't have anybody to to ask questions from, right? And that's one of the reasons why we bring up this particular platform. So I want to celebrate you, Mr. Jude, Marvin Jude. Thank you for taking out the time to join us. Also, Jonathan, Jonathan has been a very wonderful person. So I read more about him. You know, I don't miss his LinkedIn, what is it called, articles. You know, he's a very, very vibrant individual. You know, and he's also an award winner. So I want to appreciate your time for taking out the time to join this particular meeting. We appreciate you. And my own personal person, Oluwaro Timi, my boss, is a DevOps engineer. Many of you may not know. Let me tell you now. He works at Access Bank. right? He's a DevOps engineer at Access Bank. So should in case if you're having issue with Access Bank, please just hold him, right? I'm giving you exponent, hold him. So he's the one handling everything on Access with Access Bank. So hold him very well. Yeah. So thank you very much for joining. I know you're a very busy person, but to take out your time to join us tonight, we do really appreciate you. And I will want to sincerely appreciate each and every member of this particular what's it called, platform. Please help me to celebrate them, please. Just use your favorite emoji to celebrate them. They have been doing wonderfully well, right? You know, see, all of them on this platform are not collecting a dime, right? They are giving their time, their experience, their knowledge, even their money, right? Many of you may not really know how much we've spent, right? But they have been there from day one. So even all the data that we are still going to be giving, it is coming from their pockets, right? So for you to know, they are actually doing this out of passion. So please help me to appreciate them, and I sincerely want to appreciate you. Sometimes I just look at it like, wait, how am I able to? How was I able to gather all these people, and they are doing this thing without money, like passionately. Many times when I upload some of these their designs, sometimes people will be like, wait, how much are you paying these people? So because some people reach out, please, I want to join your team. I said it's free, and they be surprised, right? So please, I want to say appreciate you for your time and your efforts and your contribution so far. Without you, we can't be here. This particular vision just come very little, right? I remember the first time it come, the major plan is just to have a WhatsApp what's it called, group, where we can just share information, share links, share resources. But after gathering these people, they bring up the idea that no, we can't limit ourselves to that, and then that is what brought us to where we are today. Please help me to celebrate them once again. So thank you so much for everything you have done. And lastly, thank you. I'm celebrating each and every one of you that have made it this far. You are the boss, right? So thank you once again for your time and everything. Yeah, so I think that is all from my end. So thank you. I will hand over to Maureen. Maureen, please go take over.
Thank you so much, everybody, everyone. Our visioneer has said it all. And we really appreciate everyone. So we can start. The program has started. I'm sure you've gotten your access to the LMS. Don't wait. Run into the LMS and start working. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this program. And this is where we draw the curtain. Do have a pleasant evening. And remember to engage our platforms, our various platforms of Facebook, Instagram, everywhere, like everybody has said. And also the feedback form is very important. One of the importance of the feedback form is for us to know how better to serve you. So please make sure you fill the form and submit. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant evening. Bye.